My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of the Alpinist. 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 Alpinist? Alpinist. It's a review of that movie. And anyways, I'm not a huge documentary fan. In fact, I hate most documentaries. But my favorite one ever came out just a few years ago, and it was called Free Solo. That movie was absolutely incredible. It was well structured, well paced, it looked beautiful, and it managed to be one of the most intense and thrilling movies I've ever seen in my entire life. And when I heard that they were making another movie about a different free solo guy, I was just like, I have to see this. Now, if you don't know what free solo is, it's when people climb mountains and cliffs, but without any safety gear. So they just got their shoes, their gloves, chalk, and if they fall, they're dead. So this movie focuses on a different guy named Marc-André. And what makes this movie a bit more different is that he does it in the snow and ice. So it's not just another cliff. He's climbing mountains this way. And oh my god, this movie is absolutely beautiful. This movie makes me wish that I could do this kind of stuff. It makes me wish that I climbed mountains more often. Like, just every landscape in this movie is absolutely captivating to look at. It's beautifully shot. And it just makes you really appreciate just how beautiful the earth can be. Like, it's just incredible. And it really made me want to climb. Like, I could never do free solo, but it makes me want to climb stuff. It makes me want to have safety gear on. That's the important step. And just try to climb the easy stuff to climb, because I could never climb anything that this guy does. This guy is just on a whole other level. And I love how this movie focuses on him. One aspect I love of Free Solo is that how it builds to the last act, how it builds to him climbing this massive cliff. And the way the movie does that was incredibly well handled. And this movie doesn't have that. It doesn't build to one incredible climb. Instead, it focuses more on the person doing this than the actual climbs themselves, and what kind of person would do something like this, who would risk his life each and every day. The guy who jumps at the chance to climb a mountain without any safety gear. This movie decides to focus on the person who does it. And I think the movie does a good job of establishing who he is as a person. And I just found him to be very interesting and see all the different relationships he has in his life, to find out how he was brought up, how he was growing up. I loved all those elements of this movie because it just allowed it to be more fleshed out. But all the mountain climbing and all that kind of stuff is still as intense and as thrilling as you'd want it to be. Just watching this guy do this stuff, it's insane! Like, the camera's up high, you can just see how high up he is, and he's just grabbing on the littlest tiny bit, and he uses that to pull his entire weight up. It's insane! Like, the entire time I was watching this guy climb, my palms were sweaty, mom spaghetti, and oh my goodness, I couldn't look away. I watched this movie with my parents, and they, on the other hand, could definitely look away. They had a hard time watching this movie in moments because it's just that intense. Like, there's literally a moment where he grabs his axe and he starts climbing a sheet of ice. A sheet of ice. And this movie constantly reminds you of everything that could go wrong. If one day it was warmer than they were expecting and stuff started to melt, what kind of an effect that would have on him if there was a surprise avalanche, if this happened or this happened. The movie constantly tells you everything that could go wrong. So just when you're watching it, you're even more on the edge of your seat because you're just like, if anything and everything could go wrong here. One little slip up and the guy falls. Like, he's got these shoes with like the spike on the end and he's just putting them into the ice. And the entire time I'm just worried, like, is the ice going to break? Like, please don't break. It's just really intense stuff. This is as intense as documentaries can be. I was just, wow, it's just insane stuff. The fact that people actually do this, oh man, like, you're literally super high up, grabbing onto littlest tiniest pieces of rock, risking your life all the time. And the guy just says, you know, people always call me crazy and all that stuff, but I think it's crazy not to. You know, if you want to be alive, then you got to feel fully alive. And I get that, But at the same time, it's still insane. But this movie does a great job of showcasing this person and the lives he touched. It also has some strong emotional beats while still being an intense and thrilling movie that just made me want to go mountain climbing. I know that should be the last thing I get out of this movie, but it really does make me wish I climbed mountains more often. Maybe I should start with safety gear, of course, and with the little baby mountains. But yeah, like this movie, it just really showcases just how beautiful this planet is and just how people actually like climb. It's motivating in some sense. Like I said, it doesn't build as well as Free Solo did, for example, and there are moments where it slows down a bit, but I still found this to be a great documentary. If you live in Canada, it's on Amazon Prime. If you don't live in Canada, then I don't know. Maybe Google how you can watch it. That's not my concern. But you definitely should, so I'm going to go ahead and give the Alpinist, whatever this movie's called, an 8 out of 10. Okay, have you seen this movie? Let me know what you thought about it in the comments down below. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe. Stay tuned for some more videos soon, and Gavin out.